Last night, two New Yorkers became the first Black and openly gay candidates to be elected to Congress. One of those is Democrat Mondaire Jones of New York's 17th District. The other is Democrat Ritchie Torres. He defeated Republican Patrick DeLisis in the 15th Congressional District. That area represents the South Bronx. Here's what he said about his historic win last night.
We are going to have a United States Congress that is every bit as diverse and dynamic as America itself. 60% of the Democratic Conference in the House of Representatives is women, people of color, LGBTQ. And so I'm proud that I'm going to contribute to the diversity of the world's greatest legislature, the United States Congress.
And Ritchie Torres joins me now from New York. Hi, Ritchie. Congratulations. How are you feeling after last night's win?
I have never felt both drained and exhilarated at the same time. But I mostly feel grateful and gratified. I'm about to succeed Congressman Jose Serrano, who has served the Bronx for 40 years. And when Jose Serrano first entered Congress in 1990, I was only 2 years old. And so yesterday's election in 2020 represents a passing of the torch, and I'm honored to represent the next generation of leadership, not only in the South Bronx, but across the country.
And I know we spoke with you a few months ago, but what do you plan to do for the Bronx now that you are heading to the House of Representatives?
So, my greatest passion is affordable housing. For me, affordable housing is not simply brick and mortar. It's the foundation on which you build a better life for yourself and your family. And more than half the residents in the South Bronx pay more than half their income toward their rent. And especially during COVID-19, families are on the verge of eviction and displacement. And so I would strongly advocate expanding the Section 8 program, the housing voucher program, so that families in need pay no more than 30% of their income toward their rent. I'm going to advocate reinvesting in public housing so that families in public housing have access to safe, decent, affordable housing. And then more broadly, our highest priority should be to put people back to work and to put income in the pockets of working people and struggling families, because the road to recovery for our country runs through our families. So I'm going to advocate expanding the child tax credit, expanding the earned income tax credit, providing hazard pay to our essential workers who put their lives on the line so that most of us could safely shelter in place.
And Ritchie, Democrats had hoped to extend their majority in the House last night. While they were able to maintain their majority, they did not extend it. What do you make of that?
The results were profoundly disappointing, I have to be honest. I remain cautiously optimistic that Joe Biden will win the presidency. There are millions of mail-in ballots that have yet to be counted in Georgia, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Michigan. So Joe Biden has a much clearer path to reaching or surpassing 270 electoral votes than Donald Trump does. Having said that, it's profoundly disappointing that the Republicans will likely retain control of the Senate. And it's equally disappointing that the Democratic Party lost a few seats in the House. So the likely result is going to be divided government, which will limit our ability to deliver for the American people. I'm going to fight as hard as I can and build whatever coalitions I need to build to deliver for the South Bronx. But it's much more challenging. I was looking forward to a full Democratic sweep and an FDR moment.
So is this some kind of wake-up call to Democrats? Because your soon-to-be colleague, AOC, did tweet last night that this is something that she'd been warning the Democratic Party about when it came to specifically Latino voters and some of the weakness there that it looks like Democrats had. Do you consider this also a sort of a wake-up call?
It should be a wake-up call. There needs to be serious soul-searching. And one of the lessons learned from this election cycle is never take votes for granted. Never treat a demographic like Latinos as a automatic voting block. You have to earn every single vote. You should take nothing for granted. Err on the side of over-campaigning.
Good advice for any politician. All right, well, Ritchie Torres, thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations to you again.
Thank you for having me.